Hey there, everyone. I'm Michael.
And I'm Justin. We're Prego Italia, living our Italian dream. We're American expats, formerly from California, now living full-time in beautiful Scalea, Italy.
And we invite you to come along with us as we live our Italian dream.
Hey there, everyone. I'm Michael.
And I'm Justin. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, you guys.
Buon anno nuovo, right?
Yes, buon anno nuovo. But before we get any further in this video with learning bad Italian and all of that, we're going to ask you guys, go ahead and do as this says right down here. If you've not done so yet, click the subscribe button. Easiest way to help this channel grow. And also, be sure to tell all of your friends and loved ones about this channel to help us continue to climb up in the subscription count.
It helps a lot. We appreciate it. We love your comments. Keep them coming.
We do.
Thank you for a wonderful year, everyone.
Yes.
That year flew by.
I know. Justin and I are always saying, like, oh my God, what happened?
I know. Like, my mom went to California like a year ago in January.
Yeah.
We're like, boom, that year just like zipped by. Speaking to mom, she says hi. She lives with Michael's mom in California.
And I will say, I think one of the reasons this year went by so quickly for us is because this is our third New Year's here. But it is the first year where we've ever been here that we've been able to like have us just for us. You know, before his mom got here, we were in the apartments, which we've now sold, and we had to do all that renovation.
And last year, of course, we missed Christmas because we had like this terrible, I forgot what it was, a cold flu or something. One of those. Oh gosh, it was awful, but we missed Christmas. So this year it was fun. We had
a lot of fun
nice
this year, yeah.
private Christmas. John and Michelle were here. We enjoyed ourselves. I cooked and it was a lot of fun. We didn't film because, you know, we just kept it personal. Yes. And Michelle loves to, Love Actually shows John the film, which 20 years old now.
Yeah.
And Michael loves it too. So
it's amazing.
While I was in the kitchen, doing my thing and making dinner and enjoying myself in the kitchen, which is open concept kitchen, of course. So they were all enjoying Love Actually while I was making food. So that was nice. It was a lot of fun. We had a great time. We hope everybody out there enjoyed your Christmas. Let us know what you did and what your favorite thing to do at Christmas is. So I hope you all enjoyed yourselves.
And let us know what your plans are for New Year's as well. Let us know what you're going to be doing that.
Yeah, we didn't really we're filming this just a few days before New Year's, but we don't have a definitive plan, but we do.
Oh, no, we do. Our New Year's celebration is going to be to sleep.
There you go. But we do have a charitable thing. We try to do something charitable every year if we can, and this year with we'll have it filmed, and then it'll be later in a further episode with Oksana. We have she has a table at a lovely children's charity function, and we're going along to that and donating, of course, to be at the table and have dinner. But we'll film that, and that'll be a future episode. So we always love to get back to the community.
The one thing I'm going to say, I'm just watching him with his hand movements and stuff. So I am learning Italian verbal language at a good speed. I think I'm doing it well. And you are learning the hand movements because his hands are just...
Well, I think I'm a handsy kind of person anyway, speaking English. But I'm doing my best, folks. And yes, I order in the restaurants now. So Michael's letting me just freestyle order off the menus. And
mostly because it's funny.
Yeah, well, no, I'm doing good.
He's doing
and
really well.
Stuff. And then I do when I go to different appointments for various medical things, and the doctors, a lot of my doctors speak English. I'm very, very fortunate with that. It makes it a lot easier. But when they don't, I just make do, and I'm in on myself, and pretty impressed with how I'm doing there with, you know, if you try, we've said that before, if you try to show you're making an attempt, you're learning the language, yes, you know, you get a lot of love back to you from Italian speakers because they know you're trying. And if you go in the world as a nice person, I think in general, with a genuine heart, I think people see that. If you go in as a bitchy, mean person and you're closing off and not trying, you know, that's a whole different story. But always try. I'm not, you know, but Michael you were at a dinner and we were talking about with someone, you actually can move here without knowing Italian, but we advise knowing some and learning it even as you go. Yeah. But you don't have to like come here speaking perfect.
I think the one thing that I would say, and I know we've done videos of what you need to know before moving to Italy before, but I think the one thing that has maintained its truth to me is if you're coming to Italy, be aware of the fact that no matter how prepared you are, there is going to be a culture shock because because you are in a new country.
Yeah, we've said that before, but we always reiterate that. I guess we're just going to do this video today. Instead of going out, we're going to save for the next one and do accumulated around town and fun stuff. Let's just freestyle gab this time.
I think that's
this is spontaneous, but this was just our intro. But I think we're going to have fun just having it's a beautiful day. It's actually almost 60 Fahrenheit today.
Yeah, I know. Yesterday,
notice the shirts.
Well, yesterday we needed notice the shirts. No. Yesterday we needed on jackets because it was cold, and today
we're gifted with
perfect.
almost, like I said, I looked, I think it was 60 Fahrenheit just hitting, and I was like, yay! And we're out in the yard. We just got back from Yummy. We did Tokyo sushi, so we were just like, it was so yummy for lunch, and
We've
was
been
good
wanting
stuff.
that for
yes,
days
we were
now.
craving it for days because through all the holidays and everything, we did everything else. But we were like, yummy. So we treated ourselves to that. It's so warm. So we said, let's sit out in the patio and have a, intro, and let's just spontaneously freestyle chat with you because we love it.
We do.
And
we
say,
do.
I guess let's go over. It's 2023 flew by.
It did.
I cannot believe it. It just is absolutely, I feel like it zoomed.
Yeah.
And it's insanely fast. But let's make 2024 a lot of fun together.
I agree.
We really
And let's make it a lot of fun for
of
you guys
course,
to
with
watch
you guys
as well.
We were doing the floors, which we absolutely completed the house. We're just so content. But when we were retiling, that was in September. That would have been the time we would have ran off to like Apulia and did little some travel.
One day we are
so
getting them.
I think in the spring we'll shoot for that. We just kind of wing it. We don't have big, huge trips planned out. We'd like to do Venice this year. Actually, we have some magnificent viewers we've met. We won't name you to embarrass you, but thank you. And they have an apartment in Venice, and they kindly offered us to be able to stay there whenever we'd like. So we will take advantage of that at some point. Thank you. Love you guys, and we'll of course address who they are and everything accordingly. I didn't want to hit.
I will say, before we moved to Italy, there were a few places that I had wanted to go. And as far as heavy touristic places, Venice was really pretty much the
that's
only
a dream
one.
list forever for
It is.
you.
It is. It is the only one that is really touristic, where everybody's like, "Oh, I think of that when I think of Italy." Yeah, so do I.
That's
so
a
I'm gonna
must
be
see.
very
Probably
excited
for every human on the planet. Venice has got to be a must see for I can't imagine. People say they tear when they go there, and I think that'll be us. Oh my God, so beautiful! But yes, that'll be us.
It doesn't take much for us people.
Yeah, and I know he'll just be born. Just say we'll have fun. It'll be a fun adventure when we do that.
It will.
And my people they've told Michael there's some bridges he can get over, no problem. And we know he's a trooper.
I think
He can
that's
do
one
anything.
thing that Italy has kind of taught me about myself, which I'm very amazed with, is the fact that when we were in America, I kind of let my disability control me a lot, more than I should have. And so here, I don't let it control me.
No.
And I know we've done videos where people see me walking, and sometimes we'll get that occasional comment of, "Oh, are you okay?" Yes, I am okay.
Hey, and
it
Salerno.
does take me some time, but when we moved here, something in me clicked, and it became this: if I want to see it, I am going to see it, come hell or high water, and I will do whatever it takes. I will get as tired as I need to get to make sure that I am seeing everything I want to see.
Exactly. And for instance, in Salerno, Michael won't mind me sharing. I was not filming at the time. Otherwise, I would have left it in. But Michael had a little fall near the big Christmas tree, and all these wonderful people, these nice men came to pick him up.
Good-looking Italian.
Yes, and I tell you do your fall, like, oh, pick me up. But there were nice men that helped him up, and he doesn't get embarrassed. And I think it's the crowd that's more worried and stuff. But he just the pavement was a little tilted and cobblestone.
So yeah, I'll say what
I'll
say what happened was the pavement, as he said, was at an angle, and I had both of my hands on the walker, and it was steady at that point because my weight was evenly distributed. And I went to lift up one of my hands because I had an itchy ear, and the moment I did that, the walker got thrown off the balance, and it's like, well, there I go with it.
There you go. And you laugh, of course. And he's already, when we were first together, actually, Michael used a cane when we were actually first together. And then went back to a walker. But that's another story. He'll get back to a cane someday again. I know it. But Michael always said, if I fall, don't make a fuss. I'll just get back up. And of course, you're 42 now and stuff. You're like, I'll get up. It's no big deal.
And I think that's one thing that I'd like to use of my personal my personal journey, I guess, if you want to call it, and remind people this because, you know, everybody always says, oh, well, what happens if, what happens if, what happens if, what happens if, and we do it to ourselves regardless. And I remember when we were moving here to Italy, I had so many people go, well, what happens if you fall and get hurt? Hello,
anywhere.
I can fall and get hurt anywhere, you know, so I just want to reiterate to people, do not put things off because you are afraid of what might happen.
Live life to the fullest every day.
Exactly.
Just go for it. And like Michael's a trooper, so even if you're on Venice, hopefully you don't fall in a canal. But
I'm a good swimmer, though.
That's true. You've got that going for you. But, you know, I always tell them, look both ways, watch the traffic, take your time. And I always make sure I'm there for traffic, you know, to help get them across. I'm not going to let you venture off into that adventure. Some of this traffic's crazy. But
so
anyway,
I will say, when I fell, there was no alcohol in me at that time. So it wasn't caused by, well,
you had your...
there was actually.
Yeah,
so,
you went
but
to Cuba
I
Libre
wasn't,
before that.
I mean,
so.
I was tripsy, but I wasn't tipsy.
Yeah, it was the pavement. It was at, you know, it was at this weird angle. But anyway, but you just laughed it off and it was fun.
Yeah.
And it's more so the crowd's like, everybody coming to your aid, which he always just, you know, just smiles off. He doesn't even get embarrassed. He's just like, oh, well, I'm good.
Well, I don't get embarrassed here because I think the culture here is they're very caring. Whereas in
other places, move out of the way.
Yeah. So,
roll over in New York City. Oops, sorry. So like,
wow.
Don't block the subway.
Wow.
Well, you never know when the rush hour's on and the subway door's open.
Wow.
Too funny. But we're just going to have a lot of fun and we'll be at our pace. We don't have huge...
Very slow.
We don't. Oh my gosh, you're so cute. But we don't have necessary big trips. Well, we do have Milan coming up. That's coming up soon because I go it seems to be every 6 months. So there's a January visit and then probably July again. I'm assuming my specialists love them, so love the opportunity to go up there. I probably won't do the train ride. We did that 6 months ago, but there is a food market
because we're gonna sleep during the train ride.
You're too cute. But there is a food market in the central train station, so we're gonna do that. It's supposed to be really fabulous. We didn't do it last time or visit it, but we've seen that, so we're gonna shoot for doing something there. So that'll be fun, and that's also on the way back. I'll get one of those cold bags, and we'll bring yummy food on the train. Train food, not a fan. Learned my lesson this time, so we'll bring some goodies from the market. So I will film there. That'll probably might be the extent of the Milan visit because I don't want to repeat within 6 months of what we did.
And he's not going in Louis Vuitton.
And no, I don't need to again. And in the actually, you just pulled out a few years ago for my 50th. Michael got me a lovely Louis and stuff. And Michelle hadn't seen it, so we pulled that out.
Yeah, he's not lovable at all.
No, I'll start wearing that again. I don't think I've been using that handbag since we've got here, but I'll pull that. And I've been using the Coach one, but I'm going to pull that out. It was so cute. I was like, oh, I do like that again. So it was just in storage. But so I don't need to visit the store. Anyway. Over here we're rambling, but anyway, so I think in the next time we go into July, I think we're going to try to shoot for going to Lake Como.
Yeah,
since it's so close, so we'll do something Lake Como, Bellagio, or one of the cute areas, a couple of them or something.
I mean, I'm sure we're gonna love this visit coming up in January. It's gonna have snow.
We assume,
maybe,
but very cold.
And we've heard from some people, so we're not sure, but we've heard from some people that there may actually still be some of the holiday lights up. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm over the holiday once they're over, but the snow. Not a fan of snow. Not at all. So, but we'll show you that. Anyway, if it snows, we will film the Milan snow for you. I'll promise you that. And stuff. So we'll just wing 2024 and hope it's a lot of fun. I will say, I won't say December. Oh, somebody's going by with some music. So rock it out, Michael. The big boom box going by. Boom, boom, boom. Somebody likes the bass. They're going so boom. Anyway. Okay. We're getting off track. We're going to start dancing here.
He gets off track.
No, that was fun. It's back to my club days. I'm going, woo, let's get going. Woo! But no, that was fun. If it was nice.
And just in case you're wondering, there is a beer here. So.
I know, we split a beer at Tokyo Sushi. It was yummy though, so that was good.
So anyways, I think what I'd like to go over right now is, because it's so insane to me to think we've been here. This is our third New Year's coming up here.
Oh,
It's absolutely amazing.
Yep. We'll be 3 years in June officially. So.
And the one thing that I will actually say, at least for me, is I cannot really remember my life before we came here.
That's a good thing. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, obviously he doesn't have Alzheimer's, knock wood, but he remembers his life.
It seems like it's weird because I have grown to love life here so much, and I've become such a part of the community that I feel so accepted here and so welcome here that the person that I was before seems like a different person.
Well, you've
altogether.
grown a lot. So, I mean, you did come here just before 40. You just turned 42. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, every decade that comes upon us as humans, you know, brings new chapters and stuff. So
my new chapters are in Italy.
Yes, exactly. And it's wonderful to watch your, you know, everything from your palette of different tastes and things that you're discovering and enjoying.
Well, the food palette had to change.
Yeah,
because,
you were chicken fingers and you still do French fries. I was gonna say you were previously in America a chicken finger and French fry kind of guy, but I think you're still a French fry kind of guy. Actually, don't laugh because at the new Molino Center Mall, there was a store. Which one was it? I forget. Kick, I guess, the new store there. And there was a literal, I think it was a pajama, but it was like a furry hoodie covered in like McDonald's red type of French fry packages with French fries. And he got excited over it.
I wanted it so bad, people.
I'm all, you eat French fries every meal.
I mean, but to be fair, we have seen the hat that I wore in the last video. My fashion sense is all over.
And that would have matched because it was a faux fur too, with French fry pattern all over it. And I was like, okay, I almost got it for him because I was like, you have to be a walking French fry now.
Home fries.
You are. I'm sure the viewers giggle with his fascination with fries. We've even had viewers we've met or friends, and they're all, he really does the fries every meal.
I do.
Everywhere we've Tokyo sushi, you had fries today. So, oh my gosh, you're so cute. Yes, oh my God, love it. And we love our new neighbors, Ralph and Laura. They're so much fun. So they just left actually today though, but we had a lot of fun when they were in town.
We did.
And it's a lot of fun helping them redo their place with design and stuff. It's going to be beautiful. We'll show you that ahead. I think it's supposed to be completed by May. So we'll show that as the months go.
Really
they're
cool
a lot of fun.
They're a lot of fun.
It's wonderful.
We love you guys.
Yeah, don't you love having nice neighbors, folks? So this goes to everybody out there. When somebody moves a house or two away from you or across the street, you know, are you anticipating like, oh, who's going to move there or something? And when there's someone fun and fabulous, don't you just clap and it warms your soul? There's nothing better than having nice neighbors.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we all know what it's like to have like wretched neighbors, which we're not. Fortunately, we don't have. And
we're not those neighbors.
Yes, but it's so nice to get neighbors you actually like would just love to have come over for, you know, aperitivos and visit and coffee and stuff. It's just so warm and fuzzy. So
it is.
Yay, we got lucky there. So, and we also have another neighbor I met, Mitch. I haven't met his wife yet, and they got one of the houses. So there's a really nice community coming in right on this waterfront stretch that we're at.
So I will say one thing, because I know I was talking with Ralph and Laura about this. And, you know, I feel it's really important to bring up in this channel, and this video seems like the right time to do it. As everybody knows, one of my catchphrases, which I use at the end of every video, is dare to dream, because I do view that as being a very important thing. We always need to remember to dream and always need to reach for those dreams, because if we're not doing that, we're only living half a life, in my opinion.
That's true.
So, but with that said, I think that it is important to dare to dream, yes, but also to keep logic at all times. Because, you know, take Justin and I, for example. When we moved here, we were very logical in our way of thinking how it was going to be. We knew it was going to be different from anything we ever expected. We knew it wasn't going to be some Under the Tuscan Sun fairy tale movie. We knew what we were getting. Even though you
watched that on the plane on the way out.
No, we knew what we were getting into. So that made the dream of being in Italy something that was attainable to us, because logically we knew what we were getting in store for.
And I also knew ahead when we came here that I would eventually be a citizen, because I had brought my documents. So that made it different than just visiting.
But I do want to say, because there are so many people that come to Italy, and we've seen so many people love it here, but we have heard some people, oh, it's not what I thought, it's not, because you are putting too much emphasis on the dream and you're not really keeping hold of that logic thing.
So we do have some new advice for people. If you want to try an area, maybe you should rent. We were talking about that. We think you probably should rent instead of just like randomly picking a village. rentals
Don't do
are,
what we did.
well, no, well, maybe it is good advice. We didn't do it, but, instead of putting it all into one place, maybe it's not a bad idea to look at areas and like try renting there and see if it's your quote unquote cup of tea.
Yeah.
And check it out for a couple months, or, I don't, you could do the Airbnb thing maybe for a few months. If you don't want to get into a long-term rental, even though they're very affordable. But even a year renting somewhere, just go for it and see if you like it. You could learn the neighborhood you like. For instance, we moved to an area we love after being in the area and finding the area of town that we really love. So maybe it's not a bad idea. Maybe people, and then maybe it's not for you and you venture. We know some folks from America that did live over here. And then I think it was to Hilly and Chedro, the lady. I won't give their name for her as a senior. And they ended up going to Puglia because she wanted to go to Lecce where it was completely flat. So there's things that you might adjust to. So maybe renting saves you from trying to flip.
I know we've talked about this before in our last video. One of my biggest things that I would hate to see happen to anybody who watches our channel or just anybody who's doing this type of move anyways is to have their dream become a nightmare because they weren't fully aware of what you're doing. You have this idea of moving to Italy, which is beautiful. But even though Justin and I had never been to Scalea when we moved here, we did terrain layout to know that it was flat for my walker. We did our research.
Perfect.
So, but yeah, I do agree. If you're able to rent in a location, see if you fit into that community, see if it's going to be what you want. Do not let your dream become a nightmare.
Don't commit to purchasing, which is hard to flip in Italy, as you know. And then maybe if you don't like it, maybe Tuscany calls your name, Puglia, Sicily, or wherever, or Abruzzo, whatever's your thing, then you can venture and try it out there, instead of just committing and feeling stuck. So that just came to mind to give that piece of advice to people. It's not a bad idea.
And the one other thing, because he said Tuscany and Under the Tuscan Sun, we've talked about that. Do not expect this to be the fairy tale movie. It's not.
We're not going to name names. We've seen ladies where they wear white dresses. We've seen ladies that look like the blonde lady with the hat and stuff. So we do giggle. We know somebody. I bet in Cortona it's like there's 20 white dress people running around looking for their Italian hunk to sweep them off their feet.
Well, I mean, that part's okay today.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. So some people do have a play-by-play.
But no, I think
Eat, Pray, Love fantasy or something.
Yeah, when you come here, realize that
not everything's a movie.
It's not a movie. It's not a fairy tale.
And we've said before too, because I hear a lot of people. I think a lot of people watch that movie, but they haven't read the book. Michael has read the book and told me about the book is nothing like the movie. And I'm sorry to say, the book was, you said, boring.
Oh, God.
And the Frances May character is not, she's married already. She's a school teacher, right? And she's not divorced.
We've already
so it's just funny
this,
that the movie isn't even a book. It's a real fantasy written by screenwriters and a wonderful fantasy movie. But it's just amazing how many people could just let a book or something, or even Eat, Pray, Love, just decide their life for them. Go out and decide your own life.
Yes,
and pick your place. Don't let a book make up your fantasy.
Because the reality is, you guys, and I'm sure this goes without saying, but I'll say it anyways. No matter how much of a fantasy, no matter how much of a fairy tale life is for us, because we love it here, it is perfect for us.
Do we make it look perfect? We're sorry.
We love it here. It is perfect here for us.
For us.
But with that said, before we started this channel, when we first moved here, I'm not going to mince words, it was absolute hell. We were not prepared for any of it. We were stressed out much of the time. It was...
Like, how long does it take for a car?
It was way too much.
There was
a lot of steps we had to take to progress into the life that we now have here.
Let me give some of
that. It was more than a little bit challenging and more than a little bit trying.
And I'm not naming names, but do not come here, buy a house, and then after 90 days think, oh, don't I get to stay here because I bought a house? I am not naming names, but we've heard someone that did that. That were needing the elective visa for residency, elective residency, and they didn't do the procedures in the U.S. And I think they thought they would buy a house and just stay here. That's a big no-no. So
Yeah.
do your research, folks.
Yeah.
Don't think, oh, Michael and Justin live there full time. I could just buy a house and live there too.
Hands need to stay
See,
down.
wait,
Italian
there's
boy.
my Italian gestures, jazz hands. But once again, too, from our point of view, viewers, I know a lot of you, most people come here for the elective residency. That's a whole thing. And that's a whole different thing that you need to investigate. We once again came here for I came for the dual citizenship, which was available by bloodline, which is its own thing. And so I was able to come as a citizen and Michael through marriage that way. So definitely look into the elective residency and don't just come unprepared and think you buy a house and get to stay here. Just, that's just because. Don't have assumption. Do all of your research and speak to professionals, attorneys, or people in your country, whatever it is, America, Canada, or anywhere else, and realize what you need to do before you make the leap.
Yeah.
Very important, because we've recently heard somebody did that, and we're like, oh boy. So, and another thing, I guess because New Year's all about resolutions, please don't come here with toxic energy. There's a lot of people that are leaving other countries, especially America, because of the crime, the shootings, other things that fear them, politics, whatever the situation.
And the dogs are going to start
And the doggies
barking.
are howling at our little neighborhood dog coming to the gate.
It's
But
a dog convention.
do not think, oh, it's terrible in my country, I'm going to move somewhere else, and then to bring all of your negative political whatever, if you live your life to talk about this side, this side, and so don't bring it to a new country and
Because
bring that problem with
I
you.
think the reason is, and it's got nothing to do with anything other than the fact that if you move to a new country, you're doing that to escape.
And you're gonna
doing
bring
that to get away.
problems.
So if you are doing that to get away, but you bring all of that with you, have you really got away at all?
No.
Or have you just...
No.
Have you just spent needlessly to carry on with that same life?
And some of those same people could seek out others that are like them from the same country and just sit in a group and complain all day. And did you really escape? Are you really having bliss? Are you really giving a new life an opportunity, or are you just extending your life there and putting it here at a table of negative thoughts and people?
And since we're on this, I will talk about this as well. Once again, not naming names, don't do that on this channel. But, we've had some people come over here, and, Justin and I have made this our paradise. It is, for us, it is perfect. We
We're like,
realize,
go away, toxic energy.
we realize that there are things about it, but that could be everywhere. But the reality is, this is our paradise. We have built it. We have focused on it long and hard, and yet we have had people come over and to our face go, oh, this isn't paradise. Oh, this isn't this.
We're like, okay.
Why would you shatter somebody else's dreams?
Some people, expats or whatever, like to come over, and we've talked to other expats from other countries, and they like a friend of ours had to have a John won't mind me saying, a friend he had to have a cataracts and stuff, which he did here, but he had other people, I believe, from his home country like, oh, are you going back home to do it over in England?
We are.
And he's like, I am home. What, I have a huge weight there. This is where I live. I don't live there anymore. But it's like, you are here. When you're here, you become part of here, so of course you're going to get your medical and stuff done. And if you have the state of mind that you have to go somewhere else to take care of something important, you probably shouldn't be attempting to make yourself a big move to another country unless you're going to commit. I mean,
Right.
we're not talking about the people that pop in a few months and have their vacation home here and, play, like, ooh, I'm in Italy or something, when they're really going back home. We're talking about the full-timers.
Right.
There's a lot of full-timers that are committed to living here full-time and commit to full-time being a full-time resident. And that's its own thing. And so some of us don't go back, to vacations, back and forth. We just love the country we're in.
I will honestly say that as soon as we got here, even with all of the hardships we faced at the beginning, which are now gone, but even with all of that, I was very aware of the fact that I was never going to go backwards. I was never going to... I was, at that point, a resident of Italy. This was my full-time home, and I was very aware of that.
Well, we're going to be wrapping up to not go too long, but so take a long, hard look before you think of making a move to another country, and think of, wow, when I get there, will I be missing this in my in my home country too much? Am I going to complain too much, missing certain things? So do your pros and cons list if you think you could really commit to living somewhere full time as an expat.
Because it is hard. It is hard.
Yeah, you have to do a list for yourself, like how often. If you think you have to go back every month to your home country because you're going to miss your favorite this or that, maybe it's not right for you. So maybe just doing vacations are. Yeah. But bring positive energy where you go, and hopefully you get positive energy in return. And that's wherever you go in the world. We wish you all good luck, and everybody put the big cross up. Go away, negative energy in the world. Yes. Go away, toxic energy. Bring peace and love everywhere. And by joining collectively with our hearts of love and sending white love out there to the world, if we all do that collectively, Happy New Year. We love you all. Bachi bachi.
Bachi bachi, guys, and
2024.